we do want to give you the disclaimer that the statements in this presentation haven't been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. So we do not treat, diagnose, cure, prevent any disease or illness. Results can vary depending on health issues, lifestyle, compliance, and usage. Consult your doctor or health professional before taking any nutritional supplement. Now, do remember that we are representatives or activists of iHercules. This slide presentation is not a product of the corporation itself, but simply a personal creation. Let me ask you something. Can you come on the microphone for me, Catherine, and tell me, is the view of Zoom overriding my screen share?
No.
It is not. Okay, it is for me. So I'm going to have to move it because I can't see my slides. Let me minimize.
So I see your iHercules is what, but there is a Y.
There we go. Okay, I got it. All right, so we want to talk about why iHercules is effective for dealing with all kinds of things in the body, as well as reversing your biological age. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming slides. Understand, though, the inflammation is the underlying cause of all age-related illnesses and issues. So it is your body's natural response from threats. However, you need to understand that chronic inflammation does become an issue when the body develops a continuum of this. So we have all kinds of infiltrators in the human body, such as what you see there on the screen. Lack of sleep, huge. Toxins, poor nutrition, and emotional or physical trauma. Now, this happens to cause a release in your body of cytokines into your blood and your tissues. They cause a irritation and a wearing down of your cartilage and your tissues all throughout all of your organs. It is very destructive to have these inflammatory cytokines floating around in our blood. Now, chronic inflammation is a lot more serious than you might think. We think inflammation, take an ibuprofen, but I'm talking about prolonged inflammation. So get a look at that picture right there and notice what the end result is in the human body when inflammation begins to domino on you from all of those invaders that we are inundated with every day. I didn't even mention radiation, 5G, microwaves. I didn't mention any of that, but that's also another one. That might be toxins in the air. So here's what happens. Your circulatory system begins to get compromised and your blood flow slows down. This means that your old dysfunctional cells do not get expelled like they're supposed to, and your blood becomes dirty. This is important to understand because if your blood is dirty, it's pumping through all your organs. It's not able to pull out the toxins and the things that might be in the organs and to give life to all of those cells. Now, here are the types of issues that are associated with chronic inflammation. Every one of these, we all know someone, if not ourselves, who's dealing with probably one, if not multiple of these. Younger and younger ages are getting cancers, cardiovascular disease, having to be on blood pressure medicine. What about depression, even in youngsters these days? It's all related to the body trying to do what it can to make itself well, but it's not succeeding because it's not getting the right nutrients or the right building blocks to do so. What we understand at iHercules is that this is entirely reversible because the herbs in iHercules spray have been tested and proven to literally reverse your biological age, sometimes as much as 25 years. Average, they say, is about 15 years, but it can be up to 25 years. So the question is, if there was a way to do that, wouldn't we all want to know? We would want to know how to do it. So with iHercules, they are able to measure the telomeres of the person's blood who has been taking iHercules. They've done all of these studies over a 5-year period to measure the telomeres, which are the end caps of the DNA inside of a person's cells. Now, what happens is that this technology for being able to measure this was discovered by someone who developed a lab in 2009 after winning the Nobel Prize to measure the telomeres. Now, the science behind being able to do that is quite fascinating when you are able to understand that the technology that we have in iHercules is actually what causes the blood to create fresh new cells and to make brand new, longer telomeres. So new extracts developed iHercules from this technology of molecular extraction and submitted thousands of blood samples of those using the spray over a 5-year period, and they were able to show reversals as much as 25 years. Here's some of the samples of the age reversals. These are only 11 samples, but as you can see, it's quite amazing what people experienced. Now, for those of you who are on the phone, some of these are a person being 70 years old, actually measuring telomere length of their cells as a 58-year-old, a 61-year-old actually measuring as a 45-year-old. That's their chronological age versus their biological age. Now, this isn't just about looking younger. This is about your cells actually becoming younger, which means you're going to live a healthier, more vibrant, longer life. So what exactly happens in the body when you spray iHercules? The key to understanding is that iHercules doesn't necessarily just do something. Your body immediately recognizes this as pure food. It maximizes the nutrients and then goes and turns off the hyperinflammatory response. Once that has been taken care of, the vascular system opens up. These are your trillions of tiny little capillaries known as your microcirculation. Some of them are so small that 100 of them fit into a human hair. So what does that mean for you? That means that blood flow is going to increase. When you've got healthy blood flow, you have the opportunity to have your blood cleansed. Therefore, the blood then cleanses your organs, and life begins to get really exciting because you begin to feel better. The first 4 ingredients in iHercules actually stimulate your body's own stem cell production. And so what is a stem cell? A stem cell is the sort of the mother cells. It's where all other cells come from. So an active stem cell makes new, healthy, vibrant cells wherever they need to be made, as you can see in the graphic there. So these cells have longer telomeres. That's how they were able to measure this in those tests. So out with the old cells that have the short telomeres and in with the new cells that have the longer telomeres. We always say telomeres will tell your years. The life is in the blood and the blood does not lie. So look here, iHercules is simply 43 herbs and plants, all recognizable by name. Like I said, those first 4 ingredients actually stimulate the body's own stem cells. And there's nothing added here. Even the last ingredient, food grade ethanol, is a byproduct of fermenting few of the herbs that have to be fermented to go into actually extract at the molecular level. Now, molecular extraction is something that a lot of people don't understand, but I got this little picture of a cell. It's just a model, but you see every cell has a nucleus. And inside the cell nucleus of each of these 43 plants, the cell nucleus inside of each plant has what's called the master molecule. That's the essence, the complete essence, the smallest, most essential part, the master molecule of what makes that plant effective. So every 4 months, the blood in your body completes a cycle of regeneration. We suggest that when you take iHercules for 4 months, you're going to restore all of your red blood cells completely. So that's the reason that we suggest that you do the protocol of 4 months. Now look at this gentleman, Daryl Gibson. In 6 weeks, he looks vibrant, he looks healthy, his skin looks full and like he's got the pink back to his tone instead of maybe a darker or a grayish hue. So you can imagine over 4 months and beyond what would happen when you take iHercules at that level. This is Carol. Carol has experienced amazing results. This is her before and after photo of 4 months, and she looks amazing. She testifies of awesome things happening. I've talked to Carol before on Facebook, and she is still increasing and gaining in health. For me, it all began with Bob. This is Bob. In 10 days, he had an amazing turnaround. He actually was very depressed. He had stopped eating. He had lost the will to live. He's a husband of my friend Ellen. These are very dear friends of mine. And when Ellen called to tell me she was sending me a picture of Bob, to be honest with you, I said, is he okay? Because I thought that we were not going to see Bob again. I thought that his life was going to be over that summer. This was this past summer. She said, oh no, he's more than okay. Take a look. And I knew right away that this was very important for me to understand what was in that bottle. The iHercules bottle. I said, I got to know what's in it. She sent me the list of ingredients. And as a nutrition coach, I recognized that I had been looking for iHercules for probably about 25 years. And I had finally found what I was looking for. So within the first week of me spraying iHercules, I had my very first pain-free day in 25 years. The next thing I noticed was extreme mental clarity and focus, and then the need to nap completely vanished during the day. That's a 4-month before and after photograph. I've even lost inches and pounds. I've believe that it's from having the right nutrition in my body. My body doesn't crave the wrong things. I don't feel hungry all the time. I feel alive. I feel like I can go with less food. I don't think about food. I don't have to constantly worry about where the next meal is going to come from. You know, when you're undernourished because you're not getting the right nutrients, that hunger thing happens so much, you know, that those cravings happen so much more intently, especially for women who are in their middle of their life when the hormones begin to change. That was me. But now my hormones are beginning to level out. I've had amazing results from that. My chiropractor and my massage therapist tell me that my body even feels differently to the touch. My hair's gotten darker. And I have a real solution to offer people now when I speak about iHercules to people. Instead of just trying to help them figure out, do eat this, don't eat that, try this, try that. I know that I have 100% winner right here. There's nothing else that I want to share with anyone about nutrition other than iHercules any longer. Here's my friend Mary. She's on the phone tonight. And she talks about how her varicose veins quit hurting immediately. She had traveled by car for 4 hours with her husband, realizing that when she got home, she had not even put her feet on the dash, because she used to do that all the time, to relieve the pressure and the pain in her legs. Her skin is drastically improved. And she says she doesn't even have to wear foundation any longer. Her leg strength has increased, and she's even lost weight without changing her eating habits. Nutrition at the molecular level is the way to feed our cells what they've been missing. So the scientists who develop iHercules recommend a 4-month loading phase. This is going to give the body an immersion of these master molecules. You're going to spray 4 pumps under your tongue 3 times a day. And after the 4-month load, some people choose to reduce their number of sprays to 1 time a day, but you don't have to. Jim Barnett, the man who started and helped develop iHercules and is one of the main owners of our company, he talks about how it was 2.5, 3 years of loading up in his body because he had an issue with an old injury in his vertebra, and he was needing intense level of nutrition to begin the rebuilding phase of his body to begin to heal. He was actually bent over walking with a walking stick when he started taking this, and it was a couple of years before he was able to stand erect, but he avoided lots of surgery and those type of things because he was taking iHercules, and his body began to heal itself, verified by his doctors. So when you do a before and after picture, you do the 4-month protocol that we're talking about, you can actually get a free bottle. If you'll send that photo in to iHercules, we can give you that address if you need it. So what is the price of iHercules? When I look at the price that we are paying for the number of supplements that most people buy, as a nutrition coach, I was probably taking about $200 worth of supplements a month. And still, I was pre-diabetic and extremely high cholesterol. No explanation for it. If you could eat your way to health, I would have done it. I know what to eat and I know what not to eat. I know how to manage my nutrition, but it wasn't cutting it for me. I was not getting the absorbability and the molecular nutrition that you get with iHercules. So I don't spend $200 a month on supplements anymore. I only use iHercules. This is all of the vitamins and minerals that I will ever need. It goes in at the molecular level and does the work of all of that other stuff that really, even studies today show that so many vitamins that are made, they're made in a factory. They're chemicals. They actually cause harm to your cells instead of helping, because your body doesn't recognize that as food. But iHercules is recognizable as food to your body. So you can buy it for $99 a bottle without any monthly auto order, or you can save $20 on that bottle by having a monthly auto order. Now, if you want to do the 4-month protocol, it's greatly suggested that you take advantage of the money-saving pack called the 2X pack, and that's the 9 bottles for $598. And then you get 1 bottle a month at $79 every month after that to keep you consistently putting iHercules in your body. If you would like, you could get a smaller pack to get going, 4 bottles for $299. Now, we do have sales offered weekly, so you can talk to the person who is responsible for inviting you here, and you can let them know that you're interested, and they'll help you get the best deal possible.